Yes, and thanks giving for opportunity. And I'm a DevOps at with of 6+ years of experience into AWS and CI/CD automation. And I work with on Terraform and Docker and Kubernetes. I work with the build and deployment pipelines and infrastructure automations and monitoring and visualizations tools and Prometheus and Grafana and implementing from the spikes if I have any gate of an has on has taken the call and issue the fix the issue of immediately and the productions releases and this is under L1 production support and L2 production support I'm the giving that right now and I take with of client calls also and I'm collecting the some information the documentation and if I have any changes to implement and has on has possible to we change. This is my current role of that my company.
Okay, sounds good. So, Venkesh, I've been going through your resume,
Sorry.
and can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, yes. Tell me.
Um, okay. What I was saying was that I was going through your resume, and what I see is that it's about 80% Kubernetes and cloud native tools. Yeah, and to be honest with you, our environment is 100% raw EC2 instances. So we SSH in, we manage services, and we don't have an immutable infrastructure yet. Okay.
Okay.
So, how would you patch a critical SSL vulnerability across like 20, 30 running production EC2 instances without downtime? And most importantly, without like an infrastructure system like using K8s.
Okay.
Any idea? Can you maybe walk me through that?
Yes, and I have idea from that we connecting with of the EC2 instances and some confirmation attach of the vulnerability and with giving the root of that providing the names and it will be attaching and SSH based environment SSL vulnerability permissions to enable on that cloud side. It will implement of that server side. It will be creating the some SSL authentications, the permission encryption, handle the passwords and tokens. It will be attaching on the SSH.
Uh, okay. So can you walk me through what you would do? Like, say you have about 20, 30 EC2s that you have to fix with this SSL vulnerability. You understood that you have an SSL vulnerability, excuse me, and
Yes.
okay.
It's a patching on the ALB of NLB for draining from the 3 to 4 some example the instances to handle the production of the restarts at in the networking any issues that enable the informations it to ALB or NLB it focusing on the attach on the SSH to implementing that patching.
Okay. Sure. So are you saying that you would introduce an ALB? Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
You would introduce an ALB to patch a security across all 50 or 20, 30 or whatever the number is across all 20, 30 EC2s. You would introduce an ALB to patch this.
Yes, patches to the Nginx of HTTP period and this kind of and checking the run application health and status and everything if instance patching to checking the mode.
Why would you check the health of this EC2 instance when you're trying to fix a security issue?
Yes, exactly. But we want to check about, and I'm talking about the monitoring part also. If have any the problem, it will be show on the spikes will be getting on the visualizations. See, we attaching from that you said from 10 to or 20 EC2 instances and infrastructure into we also we know about attaching on the Prometheus and Grafana visualization part, it will be show also that health, what is the getting that problem and what was the issue is getting there.
Okay, okay. Moving on. I also see that you use Jenkins and Azure a lot. Is that right?
Yes, I use them from the Jenkins. Yes.
So we obviously don't have that kind of a setup. We use Bitbucket pipelines, which is like, I'm not sure if you've heard of it or used it before. Have you?
No.
Okay. GitHub Actions, maybe?
Yeah.
You've used or familiar with GitHub Actions?
Yes, sometimes at production support to on the client, and we using from that additionals of the GitHub actions.
Okay. So Bitbucket pipelines are very similar to GitHub Actions.
Okay.
So just like how you would write YAML scripts, right, to like configure what the pipeline does, we do the same thing. So just for the sake of this interview, just assume that we are on GitHub itself. Okay. Um, can you maybe like tell me now the whole way that Jenkins works is through plugins, right? So no matter what I come and tell you is that like we need this kind of support, we need testing, we need some sort of an automation and everything. By now, there is like a plugin for everything in Jenkins, correct? So by introducing a plugin, you can solve at least a good 80 to 90% of the problems that you face in Jenkins or any other new requirements that you are needed, you will do it. So since we don't have Jenkins set up, and we are using Bitbucket pipelines, which is like GitHub Actions, right? How would you like manage that? Because we don't, GitHub does not have like a plugin support. Or so when you translate from like Jenkins to GitHub, or in our case Bitbucket, how would you like handle something like something that uses a plugin system, but then now you don't have access to this plugin ecosystem? So how would you translate what you want to do through a plugin to not do it using a plugin? If that makes sense as a question.
Okay. Basically, we writing on from the AML scripts of the part. It will plugins means we are the using from that Bitbucket and step of reusable workflows and containerization tooling. I'm telling, but exactly the problem will getting the plugins is not available on GitHub Actions of Bitbucket,
Right.
available on the Jenkins only. But
Correct.
this side is positions about the GitHub Actions to handle of the script of AML script to implementing any manual errors. We take up the reusable workflows of that. It will AML jobs. It will be creating to support. I think I'm saying that my side.
Okay.
And CLI mode of integrations to set up of what and build and Docker images, Trivi, scan the images and deployment strategies from the Kubernetes. This kind of that. It's been very Jenkins. It's available on plugin systems, but we set up of the AML pipelines to ready on the step by step about what needed to steps of the following on the productions too. It will be supporting that, no requiring any, I mean any plugins of to in Jenkins GitHub Actions about Bitbucket inside.
Okay. Uh, okay. So I also noticed that you have no experience with respect to mobile deployments. Is that right?
No.
You have experience, you're saying?
But not in mobile decorations, but applications too. It is available on the experience.
You have experience with mobile deployments or no?
No.
Okay, okay, no problem. So I want to do a bit of an exercise here. So naturally, like so we about a few months back released our own application, and then currently what we do is, am I right in assuming that you have deployed web applications mainly?
Yeah.
And what tech stack were the web applications built on?
What web stack?
Yeah, what stack, like what technology was used to build that web application? Was it Java, Golang, Python?
Yes, it's
What was it?
Node.js and microservices and Java.
Okay, those were the things. Did you build this by yourself, or like were they already done and you were maintaining them?
Yeah, we builds of that, and we I am also build the supporting the part, and we or other team members also will available on the part of that integration about there.
Okay, so any of these did you build from scratch by yourself?
Yeah, I build up that into scratch of what we set up to on the code, and we implementing the end to end of that.
Okay, okay. So right here, no, you would be the only DevOps engineer in our team, and there would be no hand holding, or like it would be expected from you to like take care of everything with respect to DevOps at least.
Okay.
My question is that, see, for example, here in this case, you have not yet deployed any mobile application yet, right?
Yeah.
So so right now, even let us assume that even in our team, like we don't have anyone who like knows how to do CI/CD with respect to mobile deployments. So what we are doing right now is all we like we develop in like multiple systems and everything, and in one of the developers' systems, we just take a pull from the master branch or the main branch so that everyone's change is there, and then whatever we do in the deployment process, we just do it in their system. So that would be like building it into an APK or an IAP file, depending
Okay.
on whether it is iOS or Android. We build that, like we do all our security tests and like any automated tests, basically the same thing that you do or you design in a pipeline, we do it locally in a system, and then we deploy it into Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Okay, which is done in a very manual way. So step by step, we are actually typing in the script that needs to run, and we are doing it. Now, like this, in the future also, there will be cases where, like we are dealing with some sort of technology or deployment where you might not be familiar with it. So, can you walk me through what you would do by taking this example of mobile deployment? So, you've not dealt with mobile deployment before. So, if I come to you and say, "Hey, Venkat, I want your help with automating this entire thing, introducing a CI/CD pipeline for mobile deployments as well, because obviously we don't want to be, like doing this manually every single time." So, can you walk me through what your steps would be to identify what needs to be done and then go from there?
Yeah, first we build steps about the code of the generating the code. We set up of GitHub and end to end. What steps to we requiring the steps on the it will be attaching from the pipelines will be build step and tested and artifacted scanning automations and break the security permissions it will be implement to step by step required on the application mobile application. Example, I'm taking the example of the food applications, anything what I name that, it will be
Mhm.
implementing the step by step to of build of generating and providing the SSL permissions and the build and releases and play store introducing the permissions happens will be implementing repeatable by the providing the services, and we set a into on the without downtime the permission stuff using from the Kubernetes side, implementing any downtime it will be handled to the observabilities focus of that what was going of that in CI/CD pipelines, implementing and development what resources to requiring on that we set up that end-to-end process. And first we creating the process, first we tested what is how is working the steps of there, how is the build on the code, it's what is coming the output is really or not, what should I be requiring on that it is coming or not, we checking that, then will be moved to on the production side of that. It will be clearly of the instrumentals and then the push up to on the Play Store or Android any app store, it will be pushing to it ready to on the mobile development of that, it will be pushing end to end fatals information everything application any updates of new thing any rolling updates, It was very good at the applications that first we releasing on the 10% is there, remaining 90% any coming the 10% is problem. We suddenly stop that, we checking the what was the issue, the where anything is good of the 10% also is a new release is everything is fine, remaining 90% the same slowly the releasing the new versions. This kind of we taking the actions about and implementing this rollback strategies and monitorings and implementing step by step the policies and observabilities, and we set up of the application with two on the Prometheus Grafana visualizations. How is the application? What was the coming on the users? How many users are coming? How many RAMs using? What is memory showing, any problem, any issue, everything we designing from that end to end, that implementing the focusing. It's Grafana dashboard, it will be show end to end what was the processes people will coming, how many members are using, any downtime getting, any coming of that attaching the load balancer support it in some releasing the mobile application. It will be very required on that example Swiggy, lot of members are using from that right now in, I'm saying that example. It is that any coming that any problem, it will be attaching the load balancer it without downtime, any automatically coming on the slow users without downtime, not even anything. If you required of that AWS the load set the load balancer time, it will be implementing that without downtime. This kind of the steps we follow up of the end to end application, it will be implementing that.
Okay, can you show me?
Sorry.
So, um, with respect to Kubernetes and Grafana and Prometheus and all of these, right? Let's just forget about all of those for a second, because we've not really implemented that, and you will not. And for the sake of this interview, I'm adding that handicap to you and say that you cannot use Kubernetes here. Okay.
Okay.
I want you to walk me through like what you would do from step by step to get this process started of getting our mobile application automatically deployed. Which I meant is introduce it into a CI/CD pipeline. So can you maybe share your screen first and then walk me through what exactly you would do? The first 2-3 steps. Just show me like exactly what you would start with.
Okay. Visible my screen.
Yeah.
First, we take about steps. It'll be following that. We write
Mm-hmm.
code information, what type of requiring, and we understanding the releases, what we requiring on that.
Okay. So that would be your first step to understand what the application does.
So, example taking from the Java application.
Okay.
Java application, then taking implementing the steps will be application
Mm-hmm.
the build the build it push, and I mean the saying from that methods of that, what is application we designing, then we build
Okay.
then build, and next we take up the step test the option, how it's that what was getting then the test,
Okay.
and we the test about, and we after next we on the taking from the support into the push the code, we maintain the backend field. Example from the, we take the for artifactor,
Mm-hmm.
it will be set up of then up again. Next we push to pipelines. Into pipelines, the steps will be integrating, automated
Okay.
steps will be integrated to, it will be ready on that.
Okay. 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 So you've given me an example of a Java application. Now for mobile application, right? Can you maybe show me what you would Google and research, and show me like like what you would find? Obviously, there's a little bit of research you will have to do when it comes to mobile deployments, because you've not done it before. So can you show me what you would Google or what your research would look like to help you with mobile deployments?
Mobile deployments, it will be taking from that, the it will be providing, it will sample to, it will be example I am telling from that, it will be taking from UI UX designing, how is the application, and Android build developers, it will be available, but into the providing from that everything into source code management, into the process of the code into of that GitHub.
Okay, can you like show me what you would Google though? Your research process is what I want to see for mobile deployments or any other technology. So take a technology that you're not familiar with. For this
Okay.
example, I'm taking mobile deployments. Okay. You're not familiar with mobile deployments right now, right?
Uh,
So a lot of engineers will come across a technology where they're not really familiar with it. And we do a research process where we go through documentations, where we find out, okay, how exactly am I going to do this mobile deployments? I want to see your research process. Like, how will you find out what to be done when I come and tell you that I need help with mobile deployments?
okay. Can I Google search it right now?
Yeah, yeah. I'm asking you to Google search only.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
But looks like this is talking about app development, no? Nothing to do with deployment, it looks like.
Okay.
Because it's, if you look at the URL, it says types of application development methodologies, not nothing to do with deployments.
Mm-hmm.
You Google for development only, not deployment.
The mobile app development think is UI UX designing, the testing, plan, app development, final app development,
Okay.
and then this is following the create the developer account of Google Play Store,
Okay.
the type title description, add screenshots, uh, sorry, and any other iOS
Okay.
this is to do this is followings to creating mobile app deployment, the steps of that researching what is
Okay. 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 Sure. That is okay. Do you have okay? I am going to be pasting a small snippet on the Google chat. Okay. On the Google Meet chat. Yeah. So can you paste this on your notepad?
okay, sure, I will paste.
Yeah, you can. You can. Yeah. Can you remove the pipelines, artifactory,
Okay,
all
sure.
of that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, so this is a snippet. I'm giving you a small example of a snippet, which is it's just the deployment step in our pipeline. Okay. Can you tell me what is wrong here? Just go through the snippet, see what you feel about the snippet. Any lines of code that you feel that is wrong, shouldn't be there, seems redundant. Just tell me what you feel about the snippet.
Definitely. It will available from that SSH on the IP address.
Mm-hmm.
IP address is not in format of a date.
IP address is not formatted correctly.
I mean, it will not available like it. It will available on some 2 digits or 3 digits available, or it will only 1 digit is available here.
Okay.
This kind of is available 2 digits I've seen IP address.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be wrong to the. It will be showing from that SSH error will be coming on that from
Okay. Anything else?
will giving. Yeah, second one also where www.html it's available, but it is API.
Okay.
It is also getting the problem. where
No, but
the
I have created a folder there called API.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You created to API folder.
yeah. I have created this API folder to pull from our master, and I have decided that like my npm, my application should reside here.
Okay, and my side into it is available on here. It is getting the problem, and I think this is kind of that it will be problem in my. I am observing it is a problem in.
The IP address you're saying?
Yeah, IP address it is not incorrect in my side.
Okay. Okay. IP address not correct. I understood that. Apart from that, do you see no other issues from in this snippet?
Any issue under the means and system CTL restart my app service. It is okay. NPM install is also available. Git pull origin master. Okay. Mm, and yeah, it's everything is good and whatever that.
Only the IP address is wrong here.
Yeah, IP address and already system CTL restart and application name. Yeah, it is good from ID then. Echo deployment success. Yeah.
Okay. So when I SSH into the first time I SSH into it, right after the echo, you see, yeah, that line over there. Here, when I SSH into it in a new system, what will happen?
It will show IP.
It will show the IP address. So when I SSH, so say that in your system right now that you have not really SSHed into this IP address before. This is the first time you're SSHing into this IP address 10015. Okay. The first time you SSH into this IP address, do you know what happens when you SSH the first time into any IP address?
Yeah, definitely. I'm giving the some example you from we or any from that issue run then SSH and
Uh-huh.
we say give the name about the production of that it will that into
Okay.
like and we have to take this is that process then it will implement will be asked the password code and key we are set up to implementing there the production it
Right.
it will
So
give
now
the something
let me correct. Let me stop you there. Now the password is not yet entered here, no? So how will this SSH even work when I'm not even entering the password?
yeah we are not entering the password that I'm saying from first we set up into they will ask s permission.
Correct. So they will ask, yeah, do you want to SSH into
Yes,
this?
it is
Yes or
correct
no?
or man. Then we give yes. Then next will be ask any restriction the put will they will ask password.
Okay, let us not go into the password step right now. Let us solve the yes one.
Yeah,
Now, because it will ask the user to enter yes or no, right? But this is a script that runs one after another. Now, after the first time it SSH into it and it asks yes or no, I have not entered yes or no. So how will it move into the next one? Next step.
okay. Yes. You also good there. Yeah, S option is one.
So that is an issue, right?
Yeah.
So how would you solve that issue? Can you update the script so that that issue doesn't show up?
Updated to this issue from that. Okay. Yes. You would say very understand about that. You want
Mm-hmm.
that without S you have to push on the application you were saying. Exactly. I'm right.
Correct. Correct. You identified the problem, said that the first time you SSH into any IP, it asks the user to confirm it, say yes or no. But this is not being run in your local system, correct? It is being run in a pipeline. Now in pipeline, how will a user enter yes or no? They cannot do that. So this is the issue that I've identified to you, and I said, okay, Venkat, maybe it is time to fix this script so that the prompt for yes or no does not show up at all. So how are you going to solve that issue or update this script so that that issue doesn't show up?
Yeah, we give the permissions like into the step.
Okay.
Star star on star means and permissions all that it will be give like it's implementing in. I'm thinking like this star. It will be code of the before we run the code when we give the instructions like this. I'm saying
Okay.
star it will be providing all s means and it will be never ask that it will be go on direct step of that once we entering on the IP address it never ask. I think I'm from my that in my sync suggestions and s star it will be permissions to all.
Okay. Sure. Do you see anything else issue with this script?
No.
Okay. Sure. Um, okay. Moving on, Venkat. So here is our situation. All right. Now, you said you have some experience with deploying microservices, right? So we also have a microservice architecture here in MyMoneyKarma, and assume that like a critical service out of these, which is present in 5 EC2 instances, needs to be updated. Now, what do I mean by this is, let us take a critical service. Now, the auth service is a critical service, right? If the auth service goes down, that means our front end customer application will not work because users cannot log in. Our vendor application will not work because vendors can't log in. Our admin in-house team cannot log in because their application also uses the same auth service. And I also talked about the mobile application, which also uses the same auth service. So the auth service is a critical service, right? If that goes down, then none of the other applications can be used. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now this critical auth service is deployed to 5 different EC2 instances. Okay.
Okay.
Now, yeah. Now this auth service is in version 1. Okay. Now I, as a developer, have made some changes to this auth service and I've incremented the version from 1 to 1.1, let's say, and I've introduced a couple of changes. Naturally, right? That is what developers do. They make changes to services and they're going to deploy it, correct? now you know that the auth service is a very critical service. We cannot have any downtime with respect to this service during the update process, and I need your help to set that up. How would you do that? What is your strategy so that I want to update all 5 EC2 instances from auth 1.0 to 1.1, and it is critical changes. I need these changes absolutely, right? And I want your strategy to update all 5 EC2 instances from 1.0 to 1.1 without any downtime. Because if there is even 1 minute of downtime, I cannot afford 1 minute of downtime because then all our customers, vendors, administrators, all of these guys cannot log in them for that 1 minute. So, what is your strategy to update all these 5 EC2 instances to 1.1 without any downtime?
Okay. Yeah, this time we take about into new versions to into build on the CI/CD pipelines, and you say from 1.1 to 1.2 version, it will upgraded. It will be pushing take about CI/CD pipelines. About example, take about in Jenkins. The support will be take about webhook. The process will be implementing that in without the zero downtime. It will be taking from that canary deployment or a blue green deployment. It will be implementing that without the zero downtime. It will be both of that, and versions and version it implementing the push the code into automatic when the developer into push the code and reflecting and the production, so without downtime implementing blue green deployments. Blue means it will already running version 1.1. Green means it will be taking 1.2 version. Once the stable previous version, it will be without a downtime implementing from that blue green deployment. It will be green into push to the new version about the application. The status into automatically the run will be blue green strategies, and step will be implementing without downtime. Users also never any problem will be getting. It will be taking blue and green. It will be stable. The new version will be acceptable green. It everything will be stable. The version it will be moved to the new version into the green.
Okay, sure. So you want to implement a blue-green strategy to kind of solve this zero downtime issue.
Yes.
Okay. Now, assume that, because this, we have implemented a blue-green as per your suggestion.
Yeah.
Now, from what I understand, you mean is that, say I want to increment from version 1.0 to 1.1 of my auth service. Assuming that blue is active right now, the blue one will have version 1.0. We push 1.1 to green, and then once we make sure everything is correct, we make green the active one. That is the basic strategy between blue green, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how will you handle databases in this? Because assume that the auth service also uses a database, right? To check the user's email, make sure that it is unique. It is obviously the service is connected to a database. So in this blue-green strategy, how are you going to handle database changes and all?
Mm, database changes implementing from the it will be using from the databases from RDBS, using from that Aurora. It will implementing to migrating from the it will be, I mean, IP tables is using this kind of that. It will be routing the traffic without downtime is data migration will work on the background.
Okay, let me explain a little bit more about what my issue is. Now we have 1.0 and 1.1. 1.1 introduced a few more columns to the database that 1.0 can't really understand. Okay. Now, will 1.0 and 1.1, blue and green, will both of them have the same database or will both of them have separate databases?
Same database only implementing. So we data or the store end to end only same database only. With
Okay.
every information will be stored like same database only. What was the issues is getting into risk the sections is everything able the store that. See, one the without database we can't anything doing. Without users information how can we then it will we can't do like that. We once that we miss the data information, it's very difficult to that handling that. It will be taking some same information. It will be new, I mean, same database is implementing from the data will be stored that new versions what was we have the 1.2 before 1.1 it's already available. 1.2 also information will be stored to there.
So you're saying both of them will use the shared database, right? Both of them are using the same database.
Yeah, so without the database, it's very difficult on my side that any information.
There is, there is going to be a database. There is no question about whether there is a database or not. The question is, will both blue and green, basically 1.0 and 1.1, will they both be sharing the same database or will they have separate their own databases?
Mm, yeah, see, I mean, blue same database is available on that. Blue is 1.0 and
Correct.
other green is 1.1. Same
Correct.
database it's available.
Okay, both are sharing the same database, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. Now 1.1 has introduced two or three new columns for database changes, okay? Which means, assuming that the user table is present there, the user table now has two or three more columns. Let's say we have also started collecting emails and phone numbers now, okay? But this obviously is not recognizable by not admin, sorry, auth 1.0, right? Because uh, because this change of introducing new columns came in 1.1 only. Okay, so how will you handle that? Because let us say that the point of blue green and having zero downtime is that assuming that, like let's say for some reason the 1.1 version failed. Okay, you deployed everything and customers are saying that there is something wrong with this. Now as a DevOps engineer, what would you do? You will immediately switch back to blue, right? Go back to
Yes.
this thing, correct? Right? So in less than a second you switched it, which means without any downtime, without any issues, you go back to the previous stable version. Okay, so far you understood?
Yes.
Okay, now my issue is that there are database changes. So because both blue and green are sharing the same database, in the new auth 1.1 version, I have introduced two new columns for a particular table. And now some issue happened and you reverted it back. So we went back to auth 1.0. Now database, how will you go back to 1.0? Because both are shared.
Okay, you asking from that previous version you asking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the time and using from the Kubernetes and rollout back.
We don't have Kubernetes, no?
Sorry?
We don't have Kubernetes set up, no? To rely on Kubernetes for this.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Mm, the time returned back, you asking from the previous version, you want to changing that. See, yeah, it will be introducing previous version. I'm saying from that same and one thing, same Jenkins pipeline and previous same like application what was under 1.0 version.
Mm-hmm.
It will be implementing that back into, so without Kubernetes and we are the process like means of that switch
Okay.
backup to exist and previous version.
Okay. And the database, how will you switch that back to version 1.0?
Database will be back means rollback means it will be already available on the information same like we are already taking the same one database only na, it will be.
We are taking one database. Correct.
Yeah, one
We are taking
database,
one database. Okay.
one
Both the
data.
database, yeah, same database is shared between blue and green.
Yeah, same. It will be running on the same information will be take.
Correct. Now I have introduced new columns. In auth 1.1, I've introduced new columns, right?
Yeah.
Now new columns have been introduced and then something went wrong. Okay. You reverted from 1.1 back to 1.0. Now those new columns are still there in the database, right? What will you do about those new columns? You're going to just leave it like that only?
No, no, it's requiring on that.
What will you do to those columns?
Yeah, it will be keep on database schema. It will be
Uh,
uh, uh,
Mm-hmm.
a fix of that deploy again on that what was already we are the information already 1.2 version into green. It will
Mm-hmm.
already store the data. It will be available on the one database show na. It will be same information will be there.
Mm-hmm.
It will be roll into the information same already 1.2 version one database only we are using already 1.0 version it will move to the same information like there only.
Okay. 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 Sure, Venkat. I think that concludes your interview. I think I have everything that I need. Do you have any questions for me?
And how many team members is available on the current project?
It's a very lean team. Like we have a very small team for engineers.
Okay. mm, it is new role or any replacement role it is?
It's a new role.
Okay. Okay, and what look would success like first in 90 days, and what should I do on that?
Mm-hmm. Uh, well, the expectation out of this role would be that, like we don't have a dedicated DevOps engineer. So, ideally, we would want someone who we can rely completely on. And, like that would mean that the other developers are not at all dealing with DevOps at all. So far, all of us are kind of taking care of DevOps on our own. Making sure pipelines are good. Any changes with respect to pipelines, we only do it. If you want to introduce like some sort of a security testing, or like introduce a new step in the pipeline where tests are involved, all of that we are only doing. To answer your question with respect to what success in this role looks like in the next 90 days, it would probably be that someone who can first of all handle, like directly SSHing into this uh, server and managing it without the use of, Terraform, Kubernetes, Ansible, Jenkins. All of these tools are like all nice and fancy, and like does all of these work very easily. And we don't have that infrastructure yet. And in the next 30, 60, maybe next 1 year, we might not even introduce it, because like it completely depends on priorities, right? And there is also the thing with respect to costs.
Yeah,
If we introduce K8s into our infrastructure, now automatically our costs will increase. So we might not do it, right. So we need an engineer who is capable of like doing it without Kubernetes, Terraform, and all. And like if
okay.
yeah, sorry, I clicked on the mute button by mistake. So we need an engineer who basically does not know or does not rely on Kubernetes and Terraform and everything. And like if some problem comes with our infrastructure, does not automatically tell us that actually we need to introduce K8s. Only then this is solvable. So that kind of an engineer we need. And yeah, who doesn't need any hand holding, because we only don't know. Like there is no DevOps here, guy here. Like we only do research and everything. So naturally, if there is some sort of an issue with respect to scaling, like security groups or anything with respect to that, if they can do their own research, they can find out on their own, tell us what the issue is, and like come back to us, do everything on their own. That is what would be a successful DevOps engineer in our team, at least. And like I said, with respect to mobile infrastructure, also right now we don't do anything with respect to mobile, right? We are completely like taking someone's laptop, building it, converting into this thing, manually logging into Google Play account, going into that Google Play console, and then like submitting an APK. Everything is done manually. So uh, maybe in the future, if they could also like do the research with respect to mobile deployments, how exactly it is done. So like what technologies do we need to set up a new, can we do it in our current Bitbucket pipelines or GitHub Actions, or we cannot do it. So we need a lot of help with respect to that, and that is what it would look like. And maybe down the line, after you get about exposure for almost a year and a year or two, and then you realize that managing these EC2 instances is becoming like extremely hard manually, that you want to migrate into a K8s, then we can figure out something like that. So the ability to manage these things on their own, not really rely on Kubernetes, Terraform, Ansible, Jenkins, do everything through scripts, and like have the ability to do research on their own. Now you have like AI tools and everything.
Yeah.
Um, so do that research on their own, spin up a new server, do some experiments there, see how it works, go through documentations and figure out on their own, do everything and manage everything on their own. That is our primary thing here.
Oh, great.
Yeah, anyway, if that is it, thanks a lot, Venkatesh. I had a good time speaking with you.
Wish you the
um,
same.
okay. Cool, then I think that concludes our interview. Thank you so much.
And thank you very much giving this opportunity, and I'm the utilize this opportunity, and the best of with me, and that I will do implementing at what was that, and thanksgiving opportunity.
Sure, Venkatesh. Uh, Prachi, I think we are done.
Okay.
Sure, Venkat. I think we can disconnect from the call. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much giving this opportunity, and I'm implementing that. Thanks a lot. Nice talk with you.